What is going on, everybody? Josh here with Wash Away Window Cleaning and Pressure Washing, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you from best to worst our pressure washers that we use. So, in-depth review on which pressure washers you should be getting. I've done a 60-second short video on that before, but I'm going to go a little bit more in-depth on how and why I've rated these pressure washers as such. So, starting from best to worst to best, we've got the Westinghouse, we've got the Ryobi, and we've got the Champion pressure washer. So let me get you a little closer in on these. Absolute worst pressure washer I've ever purchased in my life. This thing was about $750. The Westinghouse 3800 PSI 3.6 gallon per minute pressure washer. The amount of times it takes you to start this thing is ridiculous. It probably takes 6 to 12 pulls before you get it to start working. Don't ask me why, I don't know. It just never out of the box worked for us. It's done about $2,000 to $3,000 worth of work for us. We just let it sit here essentially, but I wanted to show you guys that just because you buy an expensive pressure washer doesn't mean it's going to do the job for you. Ironically, it's not as strong as the second pressure washer that we use, but I'll get to that. So, worst thing about this is the fact that it takes so many times to start, and if you're doing a big storefront, you've got a big commercial job that you have to do it in the morning because you don't want to get people wet and you don't want people in the way. So if you're going to do sidewalks for a strip mall or something, you don't want to be there at 2 in the morning having to pull this thing 19 different times before you get it to start. And then a lot of the times, if the hose was any longer than 50 feet, it would just die. So don't get the Westinghouse. I highly, highly, highly advise against it. Let's go to the Ryobi. This was the first pressure washer we ever purchased. I bought it at Home Depot for about $400. This thing, this is my baby. This thing has gotten me through about $20,000 to $30,000 worth of work for about $400. All of that work was very, very hard. I will not say anything more about that, unfortunately. I don't recommend starting off with this pressure washer. This is if you absolutely are on a very, very, very tight budget, because it's only 2.5 gallon per minute. And if you're going to be using a surface cleaner, the ideal surface cleaner is 4 inches of diameter to 1 gallon per minute. So essentially, you could only have a 10-inch surface cleaner while using this. So try to do a 30,000 square foot strip mall with a 10-inch surface cleaner. It's going to take you a couple days. So, I've done that. I've been there. I've spent weeks on a job where it should have taken only a few days, or hours on a job that only should have taken an hour. But this thing never died on me, never failed on me, always managed to start in one pull, and still works to this day. Very, very nice. As you can see here, it is super dirty because it's gotten a lot of use. And I'm talking a lot of use. Like I said, for about $400, it got me almost $30,000 worth of work, which is kind of crazy. But the big bad boy, the big mamacita of them all, is the Champion Pro pressure washer. This thing is 4 gallon per minute, 4,200 PSI. I'm going to show you up close and personal some of my favorite aspects of this thing. Champion Pro. Links are in the description for all 3 of them, but again, I'm only going to recommend this one. Brass fittings, downstream injector. I don't use it. I never put chemicals through my pump, even though you can, and it goes right through there. I don't like doing that. I like using pump sprayers. They're just easier, and then you can make this pump last a lot longer. My favorite part on this is this. The adjuster, the PSI adjuster. So you can adjust this thing from 0 pressure to all the way up to 4 gallons per minute. Which is why I like doing that, or using that rather, because if you're on a driveway or you're on a sidewalk, you're going to want to put it to the max. But if you're spraying off someone's house, you're doing a house wash, vinyl siding, you're going to want to dial that pressure down and use the proper chemicals. The one thing I will note about this pressure washer is that a lot of people in the comments when I was buying this were complaining that it doesn't turn off properly or it broke after a few uses for them. What I will say is that if you don't read the manual and actually know how to turn this thing off, you're going to have a bad time. So, let me explain to you in this video how to turn this off properly. So, to turn it on, you're going to come down here and you've got a choke. Actually, sorry, let me bring this in for you real quick. So, you've got the gas and you've got the choke. So you're going to flip the choke on, and then you're going to push the gas thing forward, and then you're going to pull this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to play with the choke, but put the gas forward and then pull it, and it should start. And then you're going to kick this all the way on to keep the engine running. Now to turn it off, all you're going to do is this doohickey right here that you push to turn the gas on, is you're going to turn it off. There is a switch here. Don't touch it. Don't ever touch it. Never touch it. I don't even know why it's there. I feel like it's just to fool people, or if there's like a huge problem going on, you can kill it real quick, but that's not a good way to turn this thing off. What you're going to want to do is you turn the gas off, turn the choke off, and then you're just going to let the engine starve. It takes about 2 minutes for this thing to die, and then you can set back up and reset or do whatever you got to do. But that is how you turn this pressure washer off. You do not simply press the on-off switch. That will eventually break it because you'll flood the engine with gas, and I don't understand why it does what it does, but that is what it is. Always be careful on pressure washers because they do get hot. I have burned my hand a few times on the motors, being a hot sunny day, not paying attention, doing a lot of work. Easily can burn yourself, so be careful. Highly recommend this for starters. Don't get the Ryobi. Don't do what I did. You'll take way longer on jobs than you absolutely need to. Get yourself a 16-inch surface cleaner to go with this, and you'll be banging out driveways and sidewalks and dumpster pads in no time. So don't make the mistakes I did and buy your basic pressure washer when you should save up and get the one that's going to run you about $1,000. It is what it is. If you're going to start a pressure washing business, you want to be making sure that you have all the proper equipment to do so in a timely manner, because if you don't, you're going to have a bad time. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked the video. Comment if you have any questions. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are, what pressure washers you guys use, all that fun stuff, and I hope to see you in the next video.